So I watched The Killer, really annoyed I couldn't watch this a bit earlier at a theatre. Shame its release was that limited, not allowing me to watch it, but it got released on Netflix now and I've watched it twice. The film is directed by David Fincher, as we all know. This is his last film since Mank, which came out in 2020. I'm still yet to watch that. And just want to mention, he's my favorite director of all time. I've watched all of his films apart from Mank. Don't think he has made a bad film in my opinion. Yeah, I know you'll come at me with Alien 3, but that film was alright. Okay, the film was definitely not great, but it was his first major film at the time and he was a young director. And I'm also guessing he did not have a lot of creative freedom with that film.
It was a disaster. I stupidly felt that the people who were financing it had more to lose than I did if it was bad.
So looking as he's my favorite director of all time, there's a bit of bias towards this film, but don't get it twisted. With anything, this was a really good film regardless. The film stars Michael Fassbender as this assassin and reminds me a lot of The Bourne Identity, with his character of Michael Fassbender being this mix of Matt Damon in the Bourne films and Hitman from like the games and stuff. Hitman in the sense that he's this like perfectionist assassin. He will calculate everything and plan everything with his strict code.
Stick to your plan. Trust no one.
He mentions countless times in this film. Also a bit of Ryan Gosling from Drive, or what I wanted to get from Ryan in Drive, but we all love Drive. So where the Bourne Identity comparison comes from is more of the fact that they both had like this failed assassination attempt that turned to this whole revenge plot. And where they differ in their execution, to be fair, is just mainly the characters. Bourne and this unnamed Michael Fassbender assassin, they could not be more different. Speaking of Michael Fassbender, he was phenomenal in this. He captured this lifeless assassin so well. He talks a lot in the film in form of voiceover narrations, but barely speaks in the actual film. Just studies his surrounding, kills who has to be killed, and leaves. That was how brutal he was, and he carried this film really well. I love this one fight sequence that I loved, where like there's this dude that's just clearly overpowering him, and I think that's like the only good fight sequence in the entire film. Every other thing, he like just moves them down. But yeah, in the promotion there's also like Tilda Swinton in it, and like all the trailers and stuff, but like there's not a lot of her in the actual film. I was a bit disappointed, I cannot lie, but her moment to shine was really good. And out of all the times that you see him say that his code that he always says, I love the fact that this was the only time that he got proved right, and I feel like that was done really well. But one thing I'm not the hugest fan of this film is when it came to Michael's character. It was supposed to be like this mysterious killer, like I just mentioned, the hitman, but we don't see his name, we don't know where he comes from, but we see his girlfriend when he goes on this revenge plot, his girlfriend or whatever, I'm not sure. But it's just the limited screen on time, or just limited like activity we see with him and her, and I guess her brother, he's less important, so that doesn't matter. But we're going on this entire vengeance trip for family, so can I be invested in that family? I know it's a sense of mystery with the character, like I've said a billion times, but that just made me feel like I'm watching him going on killing rather than experiencing it from his point of view. I compared this film with The Bourne Identity, but you can also compare this with like a billion other revenge action films. No matter how mysterious these characters are, you always feel that rage in the character. So let's say the first John Wick film, we barely know anything. That was such a mysterious film in the sense that we didn't know who this John Wick character was, but like you were invested in that revenge story. But that's an absolute nitpick. I'm just guessing David Fincher wanted this character to be a mysterious, non-empathetic psychopath, and I would say he absolutely succeeded in doing that. Michael Fassbender, as I mentioned, phenomenal. He carried this film on his back, besides David Fincher being the main play in this movie. But I would say the opening scene was really good. That just tells you straight up what kind of film you're going to be into. No beating around the bush. Displays Michael Fassbender's really good acting in this movie, and also David Fincher's directing. Just an entirely great opening sequence in France. But it's a David Fincher film, as I've just been mentioning. It's a David Fincher film, and this guy just goes way beyond in his films, man. The camera work, the sound, the angles with the sound to give us these POVs. Really regret not watching this in a theater. I really wish I could. I wanted to. This film and Five Nights at Freddy's, I really wanted to watch both of them in the cinema, but I couldn't. But this film in particular, I hate Netflix. Why do they always do this BS? Don't think it would have made a lot of money in the box office, to be honest, but still, just drop it, man. You already promoted the film, just put it in most theaters. It's not one of David Fincher's best film, but I'm still happy I watched it. Had to watch it twice because my first viewing, I didn't expect it to be that serious. I missed when he failed the assassination attempt and got confused throughout, so I had to rewatch it again. And it's a really good film. Hope he actually starts making more movies, not this 3 to 4 year gaps in between films. That's just complete insanity for me. But I enjoy this film. I'm gonna say it again. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, go watch another video, preferably one of mine. Thank you again for watching. Peace. And yeah, did you like the film?